You've probably noticed that France are absolutely amazing, but have you noticed the very specific tactical things they're doing that make them unique and very, very hard to play against? Because Didier Deschamps has changed things. This is the team that started the 2022 World Cup final. Didier Deschamps was the manager still. It was very set in stone. You had Giroud was the centre forward, always a focal point. If Mbappe would work off him, Hernandez would come and overlap sometimes. Dembélé would be on the right wing, maybe come inside to shoot in his left foot, and Griezmann would be busy around here trying to help win the ball back and also be very creative. But that was what they did. They were very specific. Everyone knew how they were going to play. But not anymore. And here's the new current team, the very exciting new team. Elise pulling all the strings, getting touches all over the pitch. Mbappe playing through the middle. It looks the same as the last team, but not when we see it on the pitch. Because what we're seeing now from France is the difference from being a positional play team to something called relationism. It's the online debate that you can have enough of. But you can see it play out here because this is the France team on the ball against Sweden, and what you'll observe is in their 4-2-3-1 there is no striker, there's no focal point like they normally have. The players are all around the pitch, they're very spread out and wide. But what you're seeing here is Mbappe, the central striker, is pulled out to the left, that's where he wants to be. And then you'll see Michael Elise, who's the star player really, moving inside as the playmaker here. Now, Tchouaméni's about to receive the ball and he's looking around to see where to go next. And what's going to happen is the player's going to shift over to the right-hand side. They're going to try and drag the Sweden block over to the other side. When they go over there, you then get Elise sprints out to the right to try and join in, so they're trying to get an overload because they've got all these players on this side of the pitch. Then you've also got Dembélé is pulling deep to try and drag the left back away. All this is designed to pull the Sweden players out of position. And then you've got Koundé, the right back, pushing up into the space that's been created. So what you're doing is dragging Sweden all around. So you're getting a 4v3 or 4v4 in this wide area, dragging them all together, but they've got close relations with each other. So they can go to these positions, they're close by, they can ping passes, they can drag them around. Because normally in positional play, you'd have maybe one player, maybe two, something like that close by, because they've all got set positions on the pitch to hold to try and drag out the opposition. But not now, they're all relating to each other. Then the player's going to go over to the left-hand side again, they're going to swap it around, Sweden are doing well to block it out, and again, on the same side here, 4 players close by, it'll change who's in what position. It could be Mbappe, it could be Barcola, it could be the left back, it could be Rabiot. They're just swapping constantly to try and generate chances in space. And another example of the same thing, I need to show you what they're trying to do here and how it distracts the opposition team, what happens. So again, the ball's coming out from the left back to Mbappe, who's pulled fully out to the left wing now, but we'll see some other stuff all over the pitch when we look. Bradley Barcola is now the focal point, the striker here, trying to push the defenders back. But what you may also see is that there's a giant space where you think Michael Elise would be. But where is Michael Elise, the central playmaker? Where has he gone? He's over there. That's where he's gone in this position. He's just decided to go to the right-hand side. Is this what Deschamps has told him to do? I've got no idea. He's just decided to go there. He knows better than me. Then what you'll see is Sweden are now in a back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Which is probably not what Graham Potter wanted them to be doing, but no one knows what's going on, because you can see they're all going, what's going on here? Who's meant to be where? Who's meant to be looking after who? Nobody knows. Again, this is one of the players, I think Dembélé, is pulled out to drag the defender with him. You've got Michael Elise holding the width. You've got Koundé pushing forward. Players making runs into space. That's Tchouaméni and Koundé moving into the space that the forwards have left by going backwards to drag the space out. Again, France have to be quite patient to try and drag them out. Deschamps' old team would take forever with this and he'd horseshoe much earlier and it would slow down and Sweden get back into a block and they'd be able to block them out pretty well. But now they're not sure what to do because they don't know who's looking at who. One defender's passing an attacker, another's saying no, it's your job, another's like, oh, I'm not sure, should I be there? I'm not sure, all the spaces are covered, but who's free? The ball's on this side here and they're still trying to point out where the players are because they're in weird positions. And so as the play continues down this left-hand side, you can just see that France have all these players here, but look at what's going on in the shape. Normally you have shapes 4-2-3-1. 5-3-2. What formations even are these? What's the Sweden one? What is that? I don't know. What is this France one? I don't know. It's relationism. It's you go where the ball is. You want to go, you want to relate with your players to try and have a bit more fun. And of course, if that doesn't work, what you can always do is just try and ping the ball over the top for Mbappe, because France have everything. So they've got amazing players, they're really well coached, they're not as rigid as they once were, they have some protection in the middle of the midfield, and players like Tchouaméni and Rabiot are great for this. This example I've got here is Michael Elise tries a through ball to try to put Mbappe in behind, it bounces off the defender, intercepted. That could be when France are vulnerable. Some pundits have noticed that the midfield maybe the strongest, I think it's kind of fine, but they could get caught on the counter-attack if they're doing this, because without all that perfect structure that Deschamps' teams normally have, there might be avenues that you can get through to try and get at them. But because the ball bounces loose, Tchouaméni's in the right place, right time to clear it up. It's exactly what you want. And then what you get is another attack pushing forward while Sweden are all over the place trying to get into position. Again, you see 2 forwards, 2 left-sided players just standing next to each other. This is suiting what Mbappe wants to do. He wants to be able to play on the left. He wants to go through the middle. He wants to relate with players. But you've got Barcola, who's also wanting to do the same sort of thing. One of them is going to go and run in behind. Which one, the defenders don't know, the players don't seem to know, but they're trying to work it out between each other, like telepathically. And so as Elise drives forward, you've got Rabiot making the run forward as well as the central striker now. Then you've got Mbappe doing the messy thing where you pull back a little bit and stand still, let play go around you rather than you dictating the play. And a defender decides that he's got to make an action here because Barcola is being looked after, but they're distracted by Mbappe here. The defender decides to push out to try and stop the ball at the source. Doing that opens up the space, Elise flicks it through, and then Barcola scores a goal. They're now 2-0 up. They're absolutely destroying them. They go on to win 3-0. It's a phenomenal performance. This is one of the best international teams I think I might ever have seen. And that is hyperbole, but it is probably true. And when you think about the players that they have on the pitch, Kylian Mbappe has scored 18 goals in 18 FIFA World Cup appearances for France, second behind only Lionel Messi, who's also still playing in the tournament. Maybe they'll meet each other, who knows? But also, Michael Elise is the first player to provide 5+ assists at a single World Cup tournament since Thomas Hassler of Germany in 1994. The only player on record to provide more assists at a single World Cup was Pele. This is what we've got. France, Mbappe, one of the best players in the world, on an absolute heat unit attack mode. Then you've got Michael Elise providing assists for everyone. Dembele's wandering around. You've got amazing players on the left. Doué, Barcola, who plays? Who's going to be where at any time? You don't know. It's very hard to defend against. And when the players are as good as France, it's even harder. And that's why France are amazing.